So here's the home page that you'll see every time you open the course. And here's the link to the syllabus. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the link to the syllabus. And I've made the syllabus where it's accordion style, where the sections are collapsed until you need to look at them and you open them up, just so it takes up less space. So January 25th is when the semester begins. February 7th is the add drop refund deadline. If you're enrolled in the class after that date, then you are going to get either a grade or W. A Monday, February 15th is a holiday, and March 29th through April 2nd is spring break, and there's no class during that week. Then Friday, April 16th is the deadline to withdraw if you want to get a W on your transcript rather than a letter grade. So please contact me often. I respond within 24 hours during the week, usually a lot faster, and 48 hours over a weekend. And here's my Sierra College email. You can send a Canvas message in the Canvas inbox. Here is your inbox. And I have a home phone. That's a landline that I do screen the calls, but I get back to you if you would rather have a phone call instead of an email. Or you can use this Google Voice number. And then if you would join the Remind app, that would be great because then we can text each other. And I know for some of you, that's the easiest way for you to communicate. So what you need for the class, you don't need a textbook, but we do need software from Newton Alta. So you can either get an access code from the bookstore. This is the URL for the bookstore. And they are charging $51.35 this semester. So only go to the bookstore if you have to use your financial aid book voucher. If you're free to purchase somewhere else, then please purchase the access online from Newton, and you'll get there by opening the first homework assignment in Canvas and have your credit card information ready. And it's $40. I think it might be $39.95, but it's less than $40 for the semester. You do have the option of doing $10 a month, but it will cost you for 5 months then because it's January, February, March, April, May. So if you need 14 days of free courtesy access on the payment page, choose that, but then you have to choose the full semester $40 option. You can't do the $10 a month and wait till February and then do the free access and only 4 months. It works out to the same as the $40 then. So intermediate algebra is a prerequisite for this course. If your algebra skills aren't strong or recent, you might want to think about enrolling in Math 12S, which is a 6-unit version of the course. So those instructors have 2 more units to work with you and give you additional support. So the S is for support course. Then you also always have the option of enrolling in the previous course. If you're really feeling like your college algebra is not what you're ready for, then Math G is our intermediate algebra course that would come before college algebra. So you need access to high-speed internet. The library does have appointment times where you can go into the library and work on the computers in the library. I do expect that you'll spend at least 12 hours a week working on the class. That's the expectation for a 4-unit class. You need a scientific calculator, a less than $20 one. If you don't already have a scientific calculator, this is the one I recommend. And students who purchase this particular one always tell me, oh, I'm so glad I got that particular calculator. It just makes calculations really transparent and visible rather than things going on in the background that you can't see. You will need graph paper to draw graphs for this class. We do quite a bit of graphing, and graphs always need to be drawn on graph paper for me. So please get some as soon as you can. We will start needing it for assignments on week 4 in mid-February. So on the math department website, there's a free graph paper maker software if you want to print your own, or you can purchase it from the bookstore and you can use your book voucher because I put it as a recommended resource, or you can get graph paper gosh, from Walmart, Target, Office Depot, Staples, so many different places. So any kind of graph paper will work just fine. 4 boxes per inch or 5 boxes per inch are kind of the standard size. So if you need help, please don't hesitate. Come to my Zoom room on Wednesday evenings. I can be available other times by appointment. All you have to do is send an email and ask. I'm pretty much home all the time, so I can be very flexible. If you need to turn in a quiz after the until date, so quizzes are open until this until date, but just contact me and we'll work that out and assume I'm reasonable. And your peer tutor, Lynette, is available to help you. You can message her through Canvas. She's in the people list on the people button, Lynette Sawyer, and she'll also have Zoom times where she can work with you. And she'll put that on her page when she gets it updated. The Math Center, I showed you on that button that they're available via Zoom, and there's student tutors, and then if the student tutors get stuck, they have an instructional assistant available who has a bachelor's degree in math and has been in charge of the Math Center for a very long time, so he's really good at helping. And there's also always an instructor available whenever they're open. So this is the link to the Math Center and their hours are posted there. So you can go zoom in briefly and just get one question answered, or you could sit with them on Zoom for an hour and just raise your hand when you need help and a tutor will help you. So the Tutor Center is also available to you. You can call this phone number and make an appointment, and you can have a Zoom appointment with a tutor, and that's a way to get a one-on-one appointment for an hour and get individualized help. And then tutor.com, you see the button in the buttons, and a live person responds and will help you at any time. And that service is to be used for homework and quick quizzes, please. Transcripts of the sessions are available for me to view, so I want to make sure you know that I can go look at the entire session, every word, every writing on the whiteboard all gets recorded, and so I want to make sure that you're using it appropriately. Then the course outcomes were required to provide this information to you. I don't expect it to mean a lot to you before the class starts, but at the end of the class, it would be really good if you read through this list and made sure that you did learn all these things, because that was our goal for this class. Then here's the serious business. Accommodations. If you need any kind of accommodations, please let me know. I'm happy to work with you and make sure you get whatever you need to be successful. I do need documentation from Disabled Student Programs and Services in order to give accommodations, but I can help you with that if you're not familiar with our process. So Title IX, I need you to be aware that I am a mandated reporter, it's called. If I am told about domestic abuse, child abuse, sexual harassment, any of those kind of things, I am obligated to report that. If you need help with something like that and want to speak with somebody who is not a mandated reporter, we have confidential counselors who are able to work with you and decide whether or not you want to report things. So I just warn you of that ahead of time. Occasionally someone wants to tell me about something and I just feel like I need to warn you that I must report. And so you may want to hold off and speak with somebody that's not a mandated reporter. So attendance, although we're teaching and learning online, attendance is required, and each of your instructors may define that differently. So please note that in this class, you need to make progress in Newton at least every 3 days. If you don't work on homework for 3 days, you will be hearing from me, because I am really ferocious about keeping up with students and trying to help them stay on track. I am a professional nag. You need to complete and submit your quizzes by their due dates and contribute to the week's discussion board and make an entry in your journal each week. And you'll see the journal entries can be very short, And it's always optional to respond to my prompt. You're welcome to just check in if that's what you'd rather do. So if you aren't going to be able to get your attendance work completed during the week, please communicate with me. That's just key. Stay in communication. If you don't attend and don't communicate, I'll send you a message, and if you don't respond, you might get dropped from the class. It is possible to get reinstated, so even if you get dropped, please email me if that wasn't your intention, and we'll get you taken care of. So academic honesty, this is very important to me. Academic honesty is expected. The penalty can be as severe as a 0 for the assignment and being reported to the Sierra College Discipline Officer, where it gets noted on your permanent record for the college. Apps and internet websites that give answers are not acceptable homework tools. All the work to support your answer must be your original work. Anything else is considered plagiarism. So plagiarism is presenting as your own work that's not your own. And copying is not going to help you learn. And then identical papers all receive a score of 0. So if you are working together, that's great. Just make sure everybody's paper looks different. So your homework in Newton, do expect to spend at least 12 hours each week working in the Newton software and completing the Canvas assignments I give you. So there are 88 topics in the course, and each has one or more micro objectives within it. So there's 211 tiny bites in the course, and each one of those is a specific thing that you need to learn how to do. So it's very much broken down into the 211 separate things you need to learn. So if you complete all of the topics on or before your due date, that's 26.4% of your grade. Here's how it works. At midnight on the due date, Newton will calculate what percentage of the objectives you've completed. And that's the percentage of the 3 points that will get recorded in the Canvas gradebook. If you go back to topics later and complete them to 100%, your score gets changed to 100% in the Canvas gradebook. You can do this until Sunday, May 16th. So you can always go back to a homework assignment you haven't completed yet and get it completed. And once you get it to 100%, the score will be changed to 100%. I really want you to learn and get all the work done. Not so important to me exactly what day you get it done. But I will have due dates to encourage you to stay on top of the work. Then each topic in Newton has a mini quiz. It's just for you to check your knowledge before you move on to the next topic. And the scoring works the same way as for the homework, where if you finish it before the due date, you get 1 point. If you're half done, you'll get a half a point. If you go back later and finish it to 100%, your score will change to 100%. Then I have 14 quizzes that I decided to call Shine quizzes. So happy it's not an exam. You'll notice there are no exams. I decided that it seemed like all exams did was freak students out. They couldn't show me what they knew because of their high level of anxiety. So I decided not to have any tests or exams. So there will be big quizzes. They're 40-point quizzes, so they're a little less than half of an exam, but they'll be weekly and you can do corrections on them. So any homework topics that have happened before the Shine Quiz due date may be on the quiz. So in fact, I often revisit topics if it doesn't seem like everybody has mastered it yet. I'll put it on a quiz again. So you will do the quiz on your own paper with pencil, showing all of your original work, and then you'll submit it to Canvas. So I want you to use only the provided materials, the Newton, the videos I make, and the open resource textbook to answer the questions. If you go find some random website and use their solution, it may work, it may not. I had students last semester finding solutions that were completely not appropriate for college algebra, so that's just kind of the risk you run. So you will have an opportunity to do quiz corrections. So if you do a solution that's not appropriate, I'll just note that and you'll have an opportunity to do it correctly. So quizzes are due on the due date, but they can be turned in until the until date that will show in Canvas. And if you need an extension on a quiz due date, just let me know before the due date and we'll work something out. I'm very reasonable about that. Discussion board topics. Each week there'll be a discussion board topic, and because you're such a large group all in one Canvas shell, I will subdivide you into groups of about 10 so that you can get to know a smaller subgroup of your classmates. Then there will be 30 quick quizzes, and they're very short. They're 1 or 2 problems usually, and they're just a way for me to have an opportunity to give you feedback on your written work before the bigger Shine quizzes. And if you complete it and submit it, you get 2 points. And then if you redo it and give it back to me corrected, I'll give you another point. So you always have a chance to get all 3 points. You can do the correcting process as many times as you need to get the 3 points. And again, quizzes are due on the due date and can be turned in until the until date. And you just need to talk to me if that date's not going to work for you and you need a little extension. I'm very flexible about that. Each week you'll respond to a prompt for a private journal post. I'm the only one who sees it and I will reply to you. Did you notice there's no final exam? That's right, no final exam. So letter grades will be the traditional 90% is an A, 80% is a B, 70% is a C, and so on. Your grade in Canvas will always be your actual grade. It's your responsibility to make sure I've recorded your scores correctly. Occasionally I make an error, so be sure to point that out so that I can fix it. And extra credit will be offered for attending the peer tutor sessions and my Zoom student hours. So here's how the grade breaks down. Topics in Newton all getting completed, 26.4%. Mini quizzes, 8.8%. You can see the Shine quizzes are the biggest chunk of your grade, 48%. So put the most time and energy there, but let me tell you that doing your homework and doing your quick quizzes is what's going to help you do well on the Shine quizzes. Then you have your discussion boards and your journals, and that's what your grade is going to be based on. So that's the syllabus. If you have any questions at all, please do make sure and ask. I really appreciate getting questions from students. It's never an inconvenience for me. So please do give me the opportunity to answer your questions.